The Israeli UZI. Very, very compact, unique design by UZI Gal in late 1948, 1949. It was well ahead of its day as far as the design. It was the first submachine gun to incorporate a magazine to be fed inside of the pistol grip assembly, which really enhanced the compactness and reliability also. The IDF, Israeli Defense Forces, really utilized this weapon to its fullest advantages. It was used in almost all branches of the Israeli forces, particularly also with the tank crew members and also the UZI Special Forces and the commandos. It really was kept in service up till just recently, 2003, I believe is when it was retired. It is in 9x19, but it's also available in various other calibers on the civilian market. You can get it in 45 ACP and 41 AE, which is Action Express. It's kind of a magnum round, pretty potent. The weapon itself is kind of heavy. It's almost 8 pounds, but it is extremely compact and uses what's called a bolt overlap design. Basically, the barrel goes almost all the way back here to the center of the firearm, and the bolt itself kind of overlaps that. And I'll show you that more in detail when we disassemble it. It is select fire. You have a nice little feature here on the side that is pretty accessible by thumb for safe, semi, and full auto. You have a nice little safety feature here on the back where you have to kind of depress when you squeeze the pistol grip assembly with the web of your hand. The weapon will not fire until that button is pressed in. Works kind of like the safety on the Colt 1911. And actually, UZI developed that safety feature because early on in his career during World War II, there was a lot of accidents, especially with the Sten gun, where a lot of soldiers would carry a loaded magazine in the action of the firearm, and even with the bolt closed, if it was dropped on its butt end, the inertia could cause the bolt to slide back, actually go forward, back again, chamber around, and fire. A lot of accidents happen that way. Alright, another feature, it uses a open bolt firing design. It has the little ratchet cocking handle up here. You have a barrel nut that's secured by a small little latch right here. The buttstock design, really nice, compact, and stock and sturdy. Simply pops open like that. It is well made, pretty hefty. You could actually use it for breaching an entryway if you needed to. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little hex screw here on the back. You can take that hex screw out, drop off this whole buttstock assembly, and you can replace it with the wooden buttstock. It simply slides on and locks in place and is easily removable again. Your front sights. Nice protective wings here. Has a single post that has a locking screw. Can be made to change your elevation. Here on the back you also have a pair of protective wings and the little peep sight that's kind of a little flip. Has 2 little apertures here, marked 100 and 200. Your mag release is actually down here, located at the very open end of the mag well, so has the handover design where you can just simply press in with your thumb and extract the mag very easily. Some of the mags that came with the UZI, you have the 20 round, which is quite compact. You also have the popular 32 round. 32 round was very popular, worked very well, didn't really add that much extra length to the firearm either. You really needed a lot of extra firepower. There's the 40 round. 40 round really added a lot of length to the firearm itself. but did give you that extra punch. Nice little feature that UZI came up with was a nice little mag loader, really unique. Simply slid it over the open end of the mag, and you simply dropped your 9mm or whatever caliber you had cartridges inside of this. Usually 4 or 5 would stack up, and simply take one finger and press in, and it's loaded. Really neat design. The magazines are very, very reliable. Of course, all the UZIs, you had a nice little web sling, utilized pretty well, pretty common. The nice suppressor. The suppressor actually had a built-in barrel nut that would simply replace the barrel nut here and slide over the barrel and lock in place. The only bad redundant thing about the suppressor, as this is an open bolt design, you always had that same problem, especially if you wanted to do century removal. You're simply going to have that large clack on your first shot. That's, unless you actually take out your century, you're going to give your position away. Alright, let's do a quick disassembly. The top piece, it's all one solid piece here, stamped steel. You have a little tab here on the back, simply slide it back and you lift it off. Exposes your bolt and recoil spring assembly. Take your finger on the face of the bolt, simply kind of slide it back a little bit and lift it up, and it comes out. Your recoil spring and the guide simply slides off. The bolt, it's a pretty hefty little chunk of steel. The UZI Submachine Gun does not have a separate firing pin assembly. It has the firing pin actually milled into the face of the bolt. It does have a removable extractor that you can actually take out a drift pin here and remove it for cleaning. And I tell you, the bolt itself, since it is a heavy chunk of steel, it enabled the UZI to fire reliably around 600 rounds per minute. It was a good cyclet rate that you could actually keep your sights on the target in full auto, and recoil was very light. The weapon didn't climb all that much. Right, to remove the barrel, you have that little latch here on the front. You simply pull back, unscrew the barrel nut, lift off, and your barrel slides out. And here's what I was showing you about the overlap design. If you notice, the way that the bolt's made has a little crevice there, so the bolt actually overlaps the bolt and enables the firearm to be a lot shorter. Alright, your pistol grip assembly. You have one small drift pin here in the back, which I'm going to need a little bit of assistance here. This one is still a little bit tight. And it just unhooks from the front. All of your little trigger components and springs you have right there in your sear. It's all self-contained, so it's not easily to get lost in the field stripping. And as far as the receiver, it's just a stamped steel receiver. It's about 1 mil thickness. It is very stout and sturdy, so it's not very easily damaged. The tolerances were made very loose, similar to an AK, to where it was perfect for desert conditions. Even the riveted ejector bar right here is very thick and not easily damaged. So that takes care of the stripping assembly. We'll reassemble the weapon very quickly. And of course, putting the pin back in, here's where your hefty little chunk of steel bolt comes in handy. It's a great little hammer. And simply slide the barrel back into place. Put the barrel nut back on, ratchet it down very tight. The bolt and the recoil spring. and your top cover. And that's it. Very light, very compact, years and years of reliable service. I think it's a great weapon. It's been used throughout the world by Secret Service and security agencies, and is still in use today.